Oh, it is a great day in Marvel Strike Force. You can double dip in not one, but two milestone events. We're going to talk about the best strategies to use right now. Also, the best characters to build in Marvel Strike Force, and the rest of your mailbag questions from the Valley Club Discord. And if you're ready for all of that, then you know what to do. Find that like button. Let's go smash it.
ValleyFlyin.
Hello and happy Monday, Valley Club. Welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I'm ValleyFlyin. Hope you're having a great day. In this video, we got some double dipping going on in Marvel Strike Force, and we're going to talk about the best way to min-max both of these events and score for both with using just one currency. We're also talking about some of the best characters in Marvel Strike Force for you to build depending on where you are in the game. And it is Mailbag Monday. We're going to take a look at the rest of the mailbag questions from the Discord. And if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content. At least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos per week. Question answer videos, news videos, blog reviews, everything to help you in Marvel Strike Force. But without further ado, let's go talk about why we can double dip. Well, with these web milestones, one of the additions of the Worthy web milestone went live 24 hours earlier than intended. This edition will continue to run as an extra version. You can keep the rewards, and that means that you can double dip right now, Valley Club, and get rewards for both. But you do need to worry about when you're going to claim these. So let's go into game and show you what I'm talking about. So this is not live yet as we're recording this. It goes live 5 hours from now. So hopefully you haven't claimed all this stuff. So the way to score is there's earning Corbinite orb fragments and spending power cores. So while you may need to spend power cores for your energy refreshes, for these Corbinite orbs that are live in the web store right now, we can take a look at these. You can start to get some of these orb fragments. Don't claim these until after the event goes live in a few hours though. So like I claimed this Corbinite orb shards, don't do that. But yeah, I think it's pretty realistic to get at least some of these Corbinite orb shards to start scoring for this Beta Ray Bill Scuttlebutt blitzing event. So you don't have to blitz as much, but yes, this is the way to get your double dipping, and you could still use your points right now or use the energy spent to get apples for this web store right now, for this Apples of Indun store. Now with these apples, you do need to spend all of them before the Bounty of Asgard event goes away for them to count towards the event. Now, the event will still be, or the store will still be open for 2 days after this. So if you've already hit the target you want on those milestones and you're not concerned with the rank rewards, you could save your apples and get something you actually want in this store instead of rushing right now. But just know that if you wait to get the item that you may want, you're not going to get any of these points scored towards the event right now. So that is what is going on. We also got more apples in our inboxes, and you should have gotten all of your compensation for the screw up that happened when the event wasn't rewarding the correct places. So you should have gotten a 12,000 apples in your inbox as compensation earlier, but we also got some other compensation this weekend. This should have been rewards for any energy that you spent before the conversion was corrected. As you may remember, when this event initially went live, it was giving about 1 apple per energy spent. It was supposed to be 8. It later got converted to 8. So this is kind of the difference if you spent any energy before that conversion went live. You should also have that 12,000 that was just given down to everybody as well. And as far as the weekly blog, there's a couple things happening today that I do want to make you aware of because it wasn't covered with articles in the blog post. It did have these bullet points. Rogue, it is in the game right now. It is starting later today. So if you don't have all your stars for Rogue, then you can finish getting them. And it is the last time you're going to get this event with the leaderboard. It looks like you'll be able to get stars for Rogue hitting certain thresholds of the milestone. That's how you're going to get your stars from now on. Also, Nemesis is going to the Crucible store later this week. We don't have an exact date for this, but whenever you see the inbox message that Nemesis is in the Cosmic Crucible store, that's when you can start to spend some of your Cosmic Crucible credits. And Thor Infinity War is going to your orbs, your basic, Ultimus, Mega, Premium, and the supply store. And Sylvia is coming out later today as well. So that is what's happening later. Prepare for all that stuff, guys. But without further ado, let's go and check out the questions from the mailbag. Hello, Valley. I'm playing about 250 days, level 88. Did the math. I'm in need of 19 million ISO 5 ions left for Apocalypse and gear 16 17 still. It would take more than 18 months to get the ISO 5 just from war. And yes, it's going to take a long time if you're getting it just from war, but there's other sources like these events that are going on, different jackpots that you can hit in the event, which I got lucky this week. And I'm going to show you what I got lucky on, but there's certain ways you get it, not just from war, but yeah, it's going to take a long time if you're getting it just from war. Maybe less if they give us more, but I would say at least a year from now. There's a lot of people in a similar position to me, so I was thinking, should I go for Big Boy Apocalypse or save my resources to try to stay ahead for the meta after Apocalypse? Now, I think if you already have a baby Apocalypse, I don't know if you need to rush for that Big Boy Apocalypse. I think if you have a baby Apocalypse, you're able to do a lot of content in the game, and a Big Boy Apocalypse is gonna make it a lot easier for you, but it's not gonna keep you out a lot of content. Now, if you don't have Apocalypse at all, I would still be pushing for those Horseman shards, getting their gear up, just so you could unlock Apocalypse. But once you have them unlocked, you might want to hold off and just save a lot of your resources for the next meta. Now, the thing about your ISO 8 is mainly thing you're going to need that ISO 8 Blue 4 is war. I don't think there's any content outside of that Apocalypse unlock that needs the ISO 8 5, though. I think for the higher levels of the incursion raids, it's only 4, but I could be wrong on that. But yeah, so what you're really looking at is the gear 16 and 17. And the good thing about those horsemen and that Apocalypse unlock, a lot of those characters that you're gonna want to build for Apocalypse, or that you need to build for Apocalypse, they're already great characters. So for certain characters, you're not really hindering yourself. Other characters like Scarlet Witch and Phantom X, you kind of are, and that's just for that big Apocalypse. So with certain characters, go ahead, build them. Rogues, your Red Hulks, you're gonna build them confidently and not use a lot of wasted resources, because they're gonna be value a lot of things here in the game. The big question are those minimal characters like Scarlet Witch or Phantom X or the She-Hulk that you probably wouldn't be building if you weren't trying to go for that Apocalypse. And I would say I would start to build them slowly. You know, obviously you don't want to hinder yourself in arena or the raids, but outside of that, once you have your arena done, once your raid teams are set for whatever level of raids you're doing, you could do those consistently. I would start to, you know, in the background, start to build some of those horseman characters, the gear 16 and 17. But as far as the ISO 8.5, I don't think that matters one way for the content that you're building for the next meta or this meta. And hopefully, with all that said, we don't have any requirements for ISO 8.5 for whatever the next meta is. But I think the meta that people are chasing right now is super-skrull, and for that, you don't really need the ISO 8.5. All right, so this is a question about getting in contact with Cerebro and Archangel. This one did get settled. And actually, the time that this was posted, Heartgrave posted the screenshots in the Envoy chat. So I hope this gets settled for you. And this is about some missing credits, some Cosmo Crucible credits that this person did have a screenshot on, and customer service wasn't able to get those. So hopefully it gets settled for you, my brother. And if there's anything that you guys are having issues with, aren't able to really reach out to customer service since they went automated, it's not a very good system, let me know. You could send me a DM, or you could tag me in the Discord channel. I'll forward the devs for you guys. Hey Valley, glad we don't have to hold gold orbs anymore for events. Is it safe to say we don't need training orbs as well? Well, at least according to the latest Players Council update, we don't need to. Now, Scopely has communicated in the past some of these meetings. They haven't communicated this one, and it's been a little over a week, so I'm thinking it's still good information, but Scopely hasn't said this officially yet. And this is from Beta Ray Bill, one of the leaders of the Players Voice Council, leaders of the Players Voice movement, top player in the game, and what they did say about hoarding specifically in the last update, which was from July 13th. They said the MSF team is removing gold orb or training orb opening events. During our last Players Council meeting, we were able to commit to July, but have now put a stop to these recurring events. We have no plans to return these in the future. So it doesn't say they're not returning, but there's no plans as of right now. And you normally, with scope like this, shown that they plan things like 3 to 6 months in advance, which means that I think we're safe for at least the next 3 to 6 months for these events. I think the amount of backlash that they would get if they ran these after a statement like this, even though this is not officially from Scopely, even though this is from the Players Council, I think the amount of backlash they would get would be huge. And I think it would not be in their best interest to run these after this kind of statement has been made. So yes, my brother, you are safe to open your training orbs as well. Now, the way I'm doing it, as I need them, I'm opening them. Previously, when we had these events, if I would need them, I would wait till these events to open them. I don't open them all right away like I've talked about in previous mailbags. I like to just, open the orbs as I need them. But yeah, I'm opening them as I need them at this point. So hopefully that helps, brother. And hopefully it eases up some of the bottlenecks of gold and training mats, my friend. All right, hey, Valley content mate. Big question for you. I have 40 million gold and 80 million gold orbs saved free to play. Not really invested in my roster for the past few team releases since Invaders and Rebirth. Apart from the Masters of Evil, what team or teams or characters are best to invest in at the moment to make the most of the resources I've saved? Just finished Dark Dimension 5, so Dormammu is an option. That is awesome, brother. That's an awesome character. So let's talk about the game modes and that I think are important right now. So let's go into the game, look at the save squads. So the first save squads that I want to show you, game modes that are important, are Arena. So I think you definitely want to have an Arena team set. I think this team on the top is the best Arena offense team. If you have Apocalypse, especially if you're facing Apocalypse in your Arena Shard. If you don't have Apocalypse, I think the next best team is this one with the Two Eternals, the Tangled, and Emma. Now, this team does not work if you're facing an Apocalypse on defense because of the way his passive works, but if you don't have Apocalypse in your Arena Shard, you're not facing it on defense, this is an awesome team. If you do have Apocalypse, this is the team that you should work on. So that's what I think you need for Arena. Defense doesn't really matter. Nothing really holds on defense, but let's talk about the raids because I think that's the next most important game mode. This is what you're going to do every single day. This is where you're going to get your gear pieces from, especially if you're trying to get into Dark Dimension 6. So this is an important game mode. So Death Seed, this is for the mutant section. Build them up. That's an important team. You already have them built, but build them up so that you could reliably sim your raids every single day in that mutant section, not have to worry about them. Next is your Rebirth in Invaders, which you said you had built up. Build them up to a level that you could sim the raids every single day and not have to worry about that. That'll save you a lot of time. So those are the two teams I think you should build up. And they're not here yet, but the Bifrost team is the next Mystic team. Now, I've been using some combos here. You could invest in some temporary combos. Just know that any investment you make will be temporary until the full Bifrost team is here, and it should be here tonight. If you're running some tech raids or even doing some combo tech raids, you would need to build up the Bionic Avengers. They're not a great team for the incursion raids, but they're the best option that we have right now as far as a full team. You got some other options with Doom or some other skill characters in there that work well. Kang is another option for that as well. So those are the characters that I build up. And after that, I think you just build for fun. You build up those raid and arena teams. After that, you build up for Crucible, and then you build for War. And you should have a lot of good characters and good teams with what you already have for Arena and the raid. So you should have a lot to pull from for War and Crucible. But I think that is what you build up, my friend. And hopefully this helps you in your own building choices. Next question, I have an Apocalypse question. In fact, a couple of them. Do you have a big boy Apocalypse yet? If not, what is holding you up? Well, I don't have a big boy Apocalypse yet, but to the same time tomorrow, I may have that big boy Apocalypse, because what is holding me up is what's holding most people up is that ISO 8.5. But I got lucky this weekend. I had pulled two of those Apocalypse bounty orbs and got a 5 million pull. And I thought I was done. I thought, oh yes, I got Apocalypse now. But as I calculated, there was one character that I was short, and it is Psylocke. So I should be getting the big boy Apocalypse tonight. We don't have him yet though. But once we get this last piece of gear that we could get on Psylocke, we should be good. I done this in the wrong order though. So if I waited on Weaver, if I waited on Deathpool, if I waited on Kestrel, we could have already been in with our Death Seed, got the extra ISO 8.5 to finish it tonight. So I should be done if I did this correctly, but I did not. I thought when it was off of the test server, the order didn't matter. As you all know now, the order does matter. So do these characters last, do the original characters last, do them in order. And if you're not in to getting your big boy Apocalypse, do them in the order of the Horsemen. So first do the Pestilence Horseman team, then do the Rogue team, the Unlimited X-Men team, then Gamma, then Death Seed, then the original characters. Don't do it like I did. I would already be done. But yeah, that's what's holding me up right now. And that's what I think is holding a lot of people up, is that ISO 8.5. And I guess for some people is that blue gear. Or is that gear tier 16 and 17 pieces, because that's pretty rare as well. All right, hey Valley, greetings from Singapore. Greetings, my friend. No questions, we just want to throw a thank you for the wonderful content if it's not for CC like you, my alliance mates would have quit this game ages ago. I'm glad I can make this game a little more fun for you, my friend. Hopefully, however, Scopely does choose to handle the 1 million ISO 8 blue T5 ions is the final straw for me. And them choosing to dodge and not to address the issue shows that all the talk about competitive integrity and equatability is nothing but a blatant lie. How they treat the free-to-play players shows that they only care about the equitability of their wallets. Now they're rubbing their faces again by forcing it to buy and spend resources to get another team in this 1.822 ISO 5 blue ion. So, well, they're not forcing you to do this. I mean, you don't need to spend in this game. You can get all this stuff as a free-to-play player. It's just going to take a lot longer. And as far as what happened with this 1.8 ISO 8.5, well, you guys may or may not remember. If you don't remember, well, there was an event that went live that's similar to this Bifrost event. I can't remember if it was the Invaders or if it was for the Rebirth, but it's for one of them that basically if you bought the team, you were able to get a lot of ISO 8.5 from them. So when the event went live, you have people that spent got the rewards. That was fine. But then the event broke, and some people were able to do some of the event, claim some of the ISO 8.5 ions, even though they did not purchase the team. They did not get the requirements for the event. So Scopely realized it was broken at this point. They sent out compensation. So people that bought the team, they did the correct qualifications for the event. They were able to double dip and get the rewards twice. That is fine. I think that's proper. Also, the people that did not qualify for the event and did not go in initially and get partial rewards, well, they got the rewards once, which was fine. So 2 segments of the community, I think they handled it correctly. Now, the third segment, they didn't handle this correctly at all. And this is what's upsetting players. So for the folks that went in and did not have the objectives complete, but were able to go in and get all of the ISO 8.5, well, they were fine as well because they got the ISO 8.5. They didn't need to buy anything. They were made whole. But the problem is for the people that didn't get all the objectives or all of the nodes, they got some of the objectives. They got nothing, and that is not how it should have been. They should have at least got the rewards once. They should have been made whole on that. Some players were screwed out of some of the 1.8 ISO 8.5. Some of them were various amounts. So it wasn't a total debacle. I don't think anybody was totally missing 1.8 million ISO 8.5. I think it is the difference in what some players that did not have the qualifications were able to claim and what they should have, and the difference between that and the 1.8 is what they should be owed. But it's not the worst situation. Scopely obviously didn't handle this correctly, which is why the community is still upset about this. But there's 2 big segments of the community that it was handled correctly. And the players that did not have the qualifications, they went in, they got all the ISO 8.5, they got it handled correctly as well. It's the players that got some of the rewards that it did not get handled correctly. And that's not, they should have handled it a long time ago. Enough is enough. I've chosen not to carry on getting insulted by them. Shame on Scopely and the people who write and spread these propaganda lies about carrying competitive integrity and credibility. I don't think they definitely were trying to be inequitable. Obviously, the result was like that, but I think they're trying their best. But in certain instances like this, I guess they looked at the numbers and there weren't a lot of players that they thought were affected, that they should have handled this correctly. But they did handle this latest event correctly with the apples that were sent out erroneously, and they made everybody whole with this one. So hopefully that's the upswing for this. But yeah, the ISO 8.5 from the previous one was not handled correctly. I would also leave on a happy note, so I hope you carry on enjoying the content creation, keep smashing it. Farewell on all the best. Farewell, my brother. Hopefully whatever endeavors that you choose to continue with in your gaming is a lot enjoyable for you, my brother. I have another big question. Big Time Spider-Man, is he worth leveling or not? Because I don't think he's worth leveling at all. I agree with you. Our alliance was so close to unlocking Big Time Spider-Man, but we were just a little short this past raid season. So we don't have him unlocked. And when we do have him unlocked, well, he's a dark promo credit for his red stars. So I'm not going to be investing in them. Characters like Zombie Iron Man or Big Time Spider-Man, I don't think are worth it when there's other characters like Dormammu, the Horseman, that need that ISO 8.5, and Apocalypse is going to be there eventually. So save your dark promos for Apocalypse or some of those other characters. Big Time Spider-Man, where is he used? That's my question about this character. Right now, it's on war defense. Not going to really help with the raids, not helping in arena. So in my opinion, those are the two most important game modes. Crucible is the next most important game mode after those. He's not really helping in that too much either because there's only 6 teams on defense, and then 6 teams theoretically that you need to beat all of them with. Spider-Man doesn't make the count and doesn't make the cut in one of those top 12 teams. So you're using war defense, not war offense, war defense. And it looks like we already have a solution to that team. The Secret Defenders, which should be coming out next patch, looks like they're countered to this infestation team. So as far as for most players, I don't think he's worth building up. Now, there are some cases where war is very, very important to you and your alliance, and having the most efficient war defense teams out there is going to be important to you. And for those players, I would say, yes, build up big time Spider-Man, build up your war defenses, because that's a game mode that you enjoy. That's a game mode that your alliance prioritizes. Then yes, match that and have fun in that game mode. But for majority of the players that are resource starved, that don't have the resources to build even the teams that they think are important, you can skip this character. And that is it, my friends. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you are able to double dip in both of these events, get apples, get some of the Corbinite orbs, and can plan that out efficiently so that you're not double dipping with the power cores for this event. And hopefully this helps you in deciding which teams are important to build. That is it though, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you want to see all the information on the events this week, how to calculate, how to win the Corbinite Blitz, win this Voyage of Scuttlebutt blitzing for Beta Ray Bill, make sure you check out the video that we did last time. It is up there with all the numbers, all the calculations. But thank you for watching this video. I'll see you guys later, probably tonight when Sylvie comes out. So give me that Hulk fist, but before you go, have a great rest of your day. ValleyFlyin out.